English Smart, the verb. Let's pick apart the typical sentence in a bid to analyze its parts individually. Now, bear in mind that there are the subject, the verb, and the predicate to put on this pedestal. For now, let's single out the verb since it is the most troubleshooting part of the sentence. Why is it considered as such? There are two reasons. The first reason is that verbs may appear in any one of the following states. A, the indicative. B, the imperative. C, the subjunctive. D, the infinitive. And E, the substantive. The second reason is that verbs have to agree with various subjects in an equation called subject-verb agreement. Now, this is where it opens up a whole can of worms for many victims because there is the indicative with which to contend. In dealing with the indicative, that is when many are called to meet the tenses. The verb in the indicative state can really get out of hand if users fail to pay attention to details, and that's because there is a further breakdown in the way the construction of tenses should be handled with care. Care must be taken in regrouping the verb in the indicative state, which could see that verb having to be refashioned according to the following requirements. A, affirmative. B, negative. C, interrogative. D, negative interrogative. So we are about to give the verb its fullest attention in light of the above mentioned considerations. And the indicative is what is about to take center stage. That means we want to get to know about the 16 tenses, and in doing so, it's best to structure this approach. First, there's the need to be able to name those tenses, then being able to identify them, and finally, getting to be able to consciously use them. This requires hanging on like Snoopy to every bit of detail as if life itself depends on it, until of course the understanding becomes second nature. English Smart, naming the tenses. Let's name the tenses, and we are going to use a table to make it sound easy. So, construct a table with 4 columns and 5 rows for each column. And by the way, we must label the heading of each column. At the top of the first column, write the heading Core Tenses. At the top of the second column, insert the heading Perfect Tense. At the top of the third column, put the heading Continuous Tense. And at the top of the fourth column, insert the heading Perfect Continuous Tense. Now we are ready to populate the rows. In the first row of the Core Tenses column, write the word present. In the second row, write the word past. In the third row, write the word future. And in the fourth row, write the word conditional. So we are going to use the core tenses to plot the 3 other columns so that we can generate the names of the subsidiary tenses. Let's go. The present will plot with the perfect to form the present perfect tense. Again, the present plots with the continuous to form the present continuous tense. Once more, the present plots with the perfect continuous to form the present perfect continuous tense. Now we skip down to the past. The past plots with the perfect to form the past perfect tense. Then the past plots with the continuous to form the past continuous tense. Next, the past plots with the perfect continuous to form the past perfect continuous tense. Let's move on to the future. The future plots with the perfect to form the future perfect tense. Then the future plots with the continuous to form the future continuous tense. Next, the future plots with the perfect continuous to form the future perfect continuous. Can you fill in the blanks for conditional? That's your homework. Here is what your table of tenses should look like, and you should know them by heart. After memorizing these names, your next step is to be able to identify them when you have to use them on a daily basis. Note how each set of tenses is color-coded in each row for your convenience. First, we have the red group, which is a set of present tenses, namely present tense, present perfect tense, present continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense. Then we have the blue group, which is comprised of the set of past tenses, namely past tense, past perfect tense, past continuous tense, past perfect continuous tense. Then we have the purple group with the future tenses, namely future tense, future perfect tense, future continuous tense, future perfect continuous tense. Finally, we have the green group with the conditional tenses, namely conditional tense, the conditional perfect tense, conditional continuous tense, and the conditional perfect continuous tense. Voila!